Welcome to Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. Chris Lee, Chase Robinson, Jay Greason here to preview Missouri's road trip to Oklahoma. That 11 Central on ABC. Oklahoma, an 8.5-point favorite with a 42.5-point over-under. As we do this on Monday, we'll get into previews, predictions, and all that in just a minute. But before we do, a reminder. We are brought to you by our friends at GameTimeSidekicks.com, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, every SEC school, 350 other universities. Stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups. SE16 gets you a 20% discount on your viewers. Don't even say it, Jay Greason. I know what you're thinking. Hey, let's talk, though, about Oklahoma first. The Sooners, a big win. I'm guessing, like, if you're one of those people that do probabilities based on box scores, there's some elements that are going, okay, it was unlikely because Oklahoma got outgained 405 to 212. But what Oklahoma did was not turn the ball over and turn Alabama over 3 big times, including one that went for a score. It's not pretty with Oklahoma, Jay. They don't run the ball very well. John Mateer hasn't been the same we saw the last 3 games, but, man, that defense is tough and it is salty, and that is why the Sooners are back here in playoff contention as we get past the midway point of November.
Chris, are you the only person we know that looks at box scores and then says probability of outcome from box score?
Probably.
Okay, well, then the probability of Chris being the only probability of box score outcome.
Bill Conley does it. But
okay,
anyway.
Well, then God bless. You and Bill Conley need to have a cup of coffee, and we'll figure out the rest. Look, great number by FanDuel at 8.5. But this is an Oklahoma team. We talked about it in a lot of ways a month or so ago about how Texas A&M can beat you at whatever style of game you want to play. They'll outscore you in Arkansas. They'll win 16-10. They'll figure out a way to come back 31-30 against South Carolina. Oklahoma does the best job in this league and maybe nationally of saying, this is how the game's going to go, and we're going to be every bit as good at it as you are, period. With the exception of Ole Miss. Every other game, they have dictated flow because I think they are so mentally tough. And I think they are so physically tough across the front 7 because that was a dynamic performance against Alabama last week. And, oh, by the way,
no Mason Thomas
player was standing on the sideline in a jersey and no shoulder pads. So, look, we're doing this on Monday. We don't know how our Mason Thomas's quad has reacted. We don't know if he's going to be part of this. It's going to be huge against a Missouri team that has a true freshman quarterback who started his 3rd string in August and a running back who is throwing his hat into Heisman whispers, SEC Player of the Year conversation. I mean, the short list of dudes who've run for 3 bills in SEC games is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, speaking of weird box scores, I'm having to double check this. This is crazy because the way Missouri won the game, Chase, against Mississippi State, atypical. Missouri always just possesses the ball and outsnaps you. Missouri got outsnapped, if I got this right, 90-55 by Mississippi State, which gained 345 yards, but under 4 per play because of that. Because Ahmad Hardy just absolutely went off. 6th best rushing game in the history of the league, 300 yards total. Kind of predictable there what Missouri could do because Hardy is that guy and State couldn't stop the run. But, hey, that's one takeaway. The other one is you now got a quarterback in Matt Zollers who's had about 2.5 games to get used to things and also a bye week. Don't sleep on Missouri, man. We'll talk about the defense later, but the offense has got some things that have been problematic, although Oklahoma's run defense is just flat out elite.
Yeah, that's what makes this matchup really interesting is to see Ahmad Hardy go up against this Oklahoma defense and to see who's going to win that battle within the bigger battle. But, yeah, to see how he reacts, to see how he settles in, to me is going to be big, because you look at, again, he was 8 of 15, 112, 2 touchdowns, an interception against Mississippi State. He's also, if you're Zollers, you don't want to turn the ball over either, because Oklahoma's proved they can take advantage of that quickly, this Sooners defense. And so I think if Zollers, again, is able to settle in and he has some protection, then I think that will help be able to get Hardy going and seeing what else this Missouri offense can do. And again, settling in, setting the tone for Missouri is going to be big.
Yeah, I think to me, it's kind of who can will. It's kind of game. Again, Missouri can really run the football well. Oklahoma's run defense is pretty elite. Missouri is not passing the ball very well now that teams have had a chance to go back and look at film. Oklahoma's pass defense is also elite. This feels to me like just who can possess the ball and maybe wear the other team out and get a score at the end, guys, because I just feel like, to me, both teams are going to get a lot of stops. We've talked a lot about Oklahoma's defense, but Missouri's is elite too. I mean, Missouri's only giving up, 275 yards a game, 4.6 per snap. This just has all the feel of just an old-fashioned slobber knocker, Jay.
Well, it does. Physical across both lines. But if Missouri's going to have a chance to play a spoiler role, and I'm not saying they can get back into the whispers, but you win this game. I'm certain Eli Drinkowitz is going to be preaching this. You win this game on the road and break Oklahoma's heart, and you get some carnage in front of you, then can you raise your hand as a 3-loss SEC team? Depending on what happens. I don't know. But every coach is going to preach that in terms of motivation. The simple question for me is, can Missouri find somebody other than Ahmad Hardy to make big plays? Because hey, he's been tremendous. He's at 1,300 plus yards on the season. He's averaging almost 7 a carry. But in the biggest games of the year, the loss to Alabama, 12 for 52 for 43. The escape at Auburn in double overtime, 24 for 58, averaging 2.4 a carry. The loss to Vandy, under 5 yards a carry and fewer than 100 yards. The loss to A&M, he had a big run, but other than the 45-yard run, and I know you can't parse and pilfer stats, but the rest of it was 12 for 54. This is the best defense they've seen. And that's with all respect to A&M, Auburn, and Alabama. Oklahoma's the best defense they're going to see. They're going to have to, and it's on Drinkowitz, especially with a third-string quarterback making all of his, second start?
Yeah.
Figure out ways to who can make plays for us that's not named Ahmad Hardy and not wearing number 29.
Well, I mean, and you said this is the best defense Missouri has seen. I think you could make the case for Oklahoma too. Texas has got all that talent, but Missouri has just been flat out better this year. And guys, here's another thing, okay?
I think Auburn's defense is better than Missouri's.
I don't know, man. I think it's really, really close. Statistically, Missouri is better, but Auburn's played a tougher schedule. So, I mean, the point is, it's an elite defense. Here's the other thing. Sacks. Okay, both teams can get them. Oklahoma's had, I think, 30 by its defense. 36, excuse me. Its offensive line has given up 26. And Missouri has 30 sacks as a defense. Its offensive line has given up 21, and it's really been a problem at times that they won't have seen a front seven like this one. I mean, this could just be a game where everybody is in, third and 9 constantly, and the strip sack decides this thing.
I definitely think this is a game that that can come down to key turnovers on one side or the other. And if Oklahoma is just because Alabama doesn't turn the ball over, we've seen that all season, and Oklahoma made them turn it over and took advantage of that. And so that could be a recipe again this week for Oklahoma if they're able to put Missouri in situations where they force turnovers and take advantage of that. Same could be for Missouri as well.
I think I've got something that's going to kind of sum it up. I'm just going to do a pop quiz for each of you. Jay Greason, do we trust Missouri to run the ball?
Not against Oklahoma.
Okay. Chase?
Not against Oklahoma.
Yeah, in general, maybe not against Oklahoma. Do we trust Missouri to pass the ball?
Not against anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would answer that the way you guys did. Do we trust Oklahoma to get stops with the run defense?
With the run defense, yes.
You
But
answer that.
I think those same questions are fair. I don't
Right.
know if we can trust Oklahoma to run the ball against this Missouri front seven either.
Well, I'm about to go there. That's the point that I'm kind of making in a roundabout way of distilling this game down to what it is. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma's pass defense has been maybe the best in the league, guys. It's been 4.9 yards per pass play. That takes sacks out of like that's beyond elite. Do we trust Oklahoma to throw the ball?
Here's the thing I trust, Chris. And I don't know if we're jumping into picks or we're doing. John Mateer, if you're worth $2+ million a year, you got to go win this game because there's a whole lot of strength on strength meeting up. John Mateer, you better damn well be better than Zollers and figure out a way to get a W on this.
Well, let me just give you some stats. Yards per pass play for Oklahoma. Starting with the Kent State game, 4.8, 4.0, 5.2, 6.1, 3.9, 4.1. Missouri is giving up on the season on pass plays 4.8, which also is elite. So Oklahoma having issues throwing the ball. Missouri great at stopping it. Oklahoma's not been able to run the ball other than maybe a little bit with Mateer. Missouri's elite at stopping it. The point I was trying to make with that long drawn-out thing, which I should have shortened, is like you got strength for both teams against what other teams can't do and what's left at the end. And I think that's probably where we go with our picks. So with that, Jay, I'll start with you, and then we'll get opinions on the total in just a minute.
All right. I am picking Oklahoma for two main reasons. They're at home, and they've got the best kicker in the country. And if we're talking about a line of scrimmage game that's going to go back to 1940s Army versus Notre Dame, where it's a big scrum and they move between 30s, give me the guy who's perfect from beyond 50 as a field goal kicker. I think, and I know we're going to talk about it in a minute, this is the lowest total I've seen all year in college football. It's 42.5, boys. So the analytics from Vegas tell us this is going to be a rock fight, a hell of a lot more than a whole lot of games we've seen. Missouri's path honestly has a lot to do. Does Oklahoma feel the pressure about now being the darling of Tuesday night? And we're recording this on Monday because they're now going to move into playoff consideration by going to Tuscaloosa and win. How do they handle the pressure? John Mateer to the white courtesy phone. Mr. Mateer, pick up the white courtesy phone in the lobby because this is why they paid you 7 figures to come to Norman, Oklahoma, sir.
Chase?
I'm going to take I think it will be a great game, a fun game, a defensive battle. I think Oklahoma being at home will help. I think some of the carryover will help of hey, yeah, and sometimes that can hurt you. Get a big win on the road, and you see come out flat. But I feel like Oklahoma is a team where they're going to keep that rolling, and so I think they get the win.
Yeah, it's in Norman. Missouri's got a young quarterback who's not really been on he's had a couple of starts now, but Oklahoma's defense and home field against Missouri's inexperienced at quarterback, I trust it. Plus the kicking game, as Jay said, I think you summed it up great and all that, because Missouri's got some kicking issues and Oklahoma's as good there as anybody. All right, opinions on the total. Going to ask you about that shortly. 42.5. First of all, reminder, we're brought to you by Yearly Company, a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece handcrafted from solid 14-karat gold, natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit, backed by a lifetime guarantee. Because every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized, knowing your size is the most important first step before you order. That's where the sizing kit comes in. Code SE16KIT gets you 100% off your sizing kit at checkout. We're also brought to you by Rockform, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, Rock Lock secure mounting, SEC 25 for 25% off your entire order. Jay Greason, 42.5 is a total. I have a feeling I know where you're going, and I think it's where I'm going to.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start with just some market research I've done over the last 35 years of being neck deep in sports gambling. When you see a total this low, Vegas is begging you to go the other way. And when Vegas begs you to go a different direction, don't take the bait. Don't be the catfish that hooks onto the chicken liver. Go get back in the mud, flop around, eat your worms, and do whatever else. Hey, first team to 14 wins. And this is going to need multiple defensive scores to get over 42.5, in my opinion. So Vegas is baiting you on, oh my God, this is a total at 42.5, and these teams average 30 points a game. You're a sucker. Do I see a path going over? Yes, because Oklahoma figures out a way to get a non-offensive touchdown seemingly every week. But no, the only smart play is under here, because, look, this is 21-14, end of the conversation. And that 21 may be 7 Oklahoma field goals.
Chase?
Yeah, I will go under this one as well, just because of all we've talked about these defenses and how we think this game is going to go. I just think it's leaning toward the under.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you don't see this as like a 9-8 type game with all field goals and a safety in there, honestly. I mean, I almost feel like there's a better chance at a defensive score than there is an offensive touchdown. That's probably being a little hard. But, Jay, you said it well. I feel the same way on this one. I'm going under. All right, we'll be here to recap it when it's all done with. Subscribe to the channel if you don't mind, and enable your notifications. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless you. This is Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel.